Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Painting the Mansions of Madness Minis with Foster the Meeple. I'm Zach, and today we are painting the investigator Preston Fairmount, the Millionaire. First things first, I'm going to use Barbarian Flesh to start blocking in the skin tones on the face and hands, doing a couple of coats as needed to get good coverage. Make sure to stick around to the end of the video so you can see all of the submissions for the hashtag MyMiniYourMini challenge that I'm painting this for. In my next step, I'll be using Oak Brown to start doing a base coat on the suit. Now, as I start painting here, you're going to notice that the paint looks fairly translucent. You can still see the base coat underneath. Now, it's usually better to do multiple thin coats to build up rather than globbing your paint on. It's easier to build up than it is to strip off a giant lump of paint that's obscuring all of your details. One thing to consider if you're new to painting like I am, you shouldn't always be using your smallest brush. Basically, use the biggest brush you think you can get away with. Here I'm doing just a huge slathering of brown paint all over this mini, so I don't need a super fine brush. And if I do use that, A, it's going to take a lot longer, and B, I'm running the risk of fraying and wearing out that brush before it's time. So kind of just consider that using a small brush doesn't necessarily mean that you're getting better results. Here, I'm just blocking in the hair using some of the same color, and then I'm moving on to Fur Brown to start doing some highlights on the suit. As I'm going along here, I'm mainly focused on the parts of the suit that are the most outward facing. So I want to get the side and the front of the pants, I want to get the shoulders and the back and the front of the blazer, and I just want to make sure that I have a lighter color there, and I'm going to go in and blend it later. I don't want to have like a stark contrasting line where it just has dark and then all of a sudden light. This is all going to get blended, but you're trying to work lighter and lighter tones to show the more upraised areas and just to create some visual interest on the suit. Here I'm just going to use some of the white and off-white that I still had on my wet palette from a previous project, and I'm going to start filling in the shirt. I decided that I wanted to keep the inner vest a little bit lighter tone of brown than the surrounding suit. So I was going over that and then doing some more highlights. So coming up with lighter and lighter colors on the suit as I progress through the painting of the mini. Here's where I'm going over the outraised edges with a very light brown to create some nice separation to give some visual interest to the suit. So I'm going over the suit's edges and the very kind of tips of the legs there. You can see I'm going to do the shoulders and a bit of the folds on the back of the mini too. And it's just going to make the suit look a bit more visually appealing. Here we're taking a look at the mini so far, and it's always good as you're painting to just hold the Mini a little bit further away and give it a spin, because you're not going to be holding this up to your eye when you're playing with it. It's going to be sitting further away, and it's always going to look better at a distance than it will when it's zoomed in on a camera or held directly up to your eye. We're going in here and doing a few highlights on the hair, trying to get a nice variety there so it's not just one blob of color. So I do go over this quite a few times with some different shades, and it's just a matter of working out until you find something that you like. And sometimes you just have to wait for the paint to dry so you know what it's going to look like moving forward. Going along here and working on the eyes, putting in the blobs in the eye socket. When you look at the card art, you can see that the cane has 3 distinct colors. It's brown at the top, and then it has a silver ring, and then the majority of it is black. So here I'm just taking the brown I already have on my palette and doing the top, then getting a little bit of shining silver, and I'm going to do that ring. I still had some matte black on the wet palette as well, so I'm just going in here to fill in the bottom portion of the cane, so I'll have all 3 colors blocked in. And since I'm already using matte black, it's as good a time as any to start coloring in my base. I always find that this small step just makes your Mini look that much more complete and better to look at. Maybe it's just the added contrast with the rest of the colors that it brings, but it's a step in the process that really starts to make you think that, oh yeah, this is starting to look good. So I usually save it until I have a bit of the Mini painted. I'm going in now to put in the pupils in the eyes, so really get a good grip there to steady your hands, and just a little dot or slash in the middle of the white blob we put in earlier, and you're set. Here we're just going in with some of the original flesh tone to crop the eyes down to size so they don't look so exaggerated. Here you can see me mixing some white and brown together and then wiping excess off on a paper towel to the side, and I'm using an old brush here to just give the hair a little bit of a light dry brushing to hit the upraised edges of the hair strands to make it look better. I went in with some brown to color in the shoes to tie in with the color theme of the suit. One of the last details I decided to add was to use Greedy Gold to put a gold ring on one of the fingers of Preston's right hand. It's something I saw in some card art from another game when I was looking up reference photos. Overall, I'm pretty happy with how this turned out, and it was a bit more interesting than I thought it would be. Here you could see the results from the hashtag MyMiniYourMini challenge on Instagram. These are all of the submissions that we had for Preston Fairmount. If you like what you see, I'm going to put the links to all of these artists down below in the comments. You can go check them out. And if you want to join us, just message one of us and see what model we're painting this week. We post every Thursday on Instagram. Thanks for watching. We have new videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday here at Foster the Meeple. If you like what you see, please subscribe, leave a like, and you might even want to be notified of when we post our new videos, so hit the bell. Check us out on Instagram at Foster the Meeple, and once again, thanks for watching.